And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day of the Master Coliseum 7, not group stage, playoffs. Day number 1 of the playoffs. We are finally here. We are down to only a handful of players remaining, and we are ready to kick things off with a TvT. Exclamation mark B in the chat. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. We have plenty of high quality matches going on here tonight. We have Maru versus Cure, Cyril versus Solar, Dark versus Rainer, and Max Pax versus Hero. We have 8 players remaining in this event. If you don't see them here, they didn't make it. They did not make it out of the group stage. There were some insane results. The big one, Clem did not make it into the playoffs. He was knocked out in the group stage, did not quite make it through. But here we go, we're diving into our TvT, and spawning in the top right hand corner, we have Maru for onside. And in the bottom left, we have Cure for Team Liquid. Here we go. Here we go again. It's a day full of mirror matchups. Bear that in mind. We got TvTs, we got ZVZs, and we got PvPs. Pure mirror matchups here, at least for day number 1. Day 2 onwards, we'll of course have a little bit more variety when it comes to the matchups available, so stay tuned for that. Again, it's a full week of Master Coliseum every single day, starting from today until Sunday. We have Master Coliseum on a daily basis to crown our champion, to determine who is the best among the best, at least leading into TvT. Again, a very important event here. I mean, it's a big premier event, a lot of money is on the line, and on top of that, it is leading into our big event in Poland, which is merely, what, 2 weeks to go, 2 weeks away, if that. It's it's coming up 3 weeks away, sorry, 3 weeks away, so it's coming up on us less than a month from now. Oh boy, and we'll see what our form is looking like. For now, we're getting to our TvT. We're going to be getting across the map. Did I say TvT? Oh, Cyclone versus Cyclone. Let's go. Let us go. For now, double gas opener all around from both Maru and Cure. Everything is looking aggressive and, I mean, mirrored for the time being. And we'll see how we do embrace kind of this opener of the new patch as well. Cure is very fond of the new Cyclone. Cure alongside Clem have been playing quite a lot together, and they have been learning from each other, and they have been adapting over the course of the past couple of months, ever since Cure has been on Team Liquid. And yeah, Cyclones are definitely something that Cure does embrace. But does Maru? That's the question. That is the question here. SCV is going to be passing by each other. Factories are on the way. Oh, hello, monsieur. Cure. Doubles back with that SCV. Keeps it hidden here instead. They're going to be coming in with the Reaper for an extra hit. Basically, the SCV is going to be used to tank a shot, and if we can tank one shot, then we can kill the Reaper. That's the goal here as you get across the map, and we do get on top of that CC. Oh! And it does tank the shot. Maru going to be forced further back, is zoned away from his low ground, and Cure comes out on top in this trade. Comes out on top. Second Reaper has arrived. Cure is going to be forced back, but again, the CC was delayed by a couple of seconds. That was the goal for Cure. I mean, the ideal goal would have been to kill the building SCV, but does manage to escape. Second Reaper has arrived. KDA charge thrown down as well, as Cure does race back up the ramp to his natural. So far, a nice little win for Cure. Is going to mean that his CC is slightly ahead of his opponents, only slightly, as we're easing our way into our 1-1-1, as we're easing our way into our Cyclones. Here we go. Cyclone production, it has commenced. Our natural base is getting up and running. No one base all in or anything of the sort in sight, thankfully. And typically we have been seeing a very popular opener with Cyclones into Medivacs, and there it is. Medivacs are on the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we get them from both players, just so we can go for some drop play. And there it is. We have Medivacs from both Cure and Maru. Double Cyclone drop should be moving out across the map. As I say that, I believe Maru has his second Cyclone on the way. I believe Cure cut at 1 is going to be mixing in some Marines instead, I imagine. Yep, there we go. So it's going to be not Marines, Reapers. It's going to be Reapers, Hellions, Cyclones. A little bit of a mishmash here of a drop. Bit of everything. Kitchen Sink is being sent across the map. Meanwhile, Maru just waiting for his medevac to send out his first 2 Cyclones. Now, they may pass each other. If they run into each other, that poses a different problem, especially for Cure, as we have that much more anti-air. But alas, the ships, they will pass in the night. Cure is going to be the first to hit, as he did leave first, since he didn't actually make that second Cyclone. Did get here a little bit faster in the end. He's going for the SCVs. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 SCVs go down so far. Good start, but reinforcements, they have arrived, and Cure is going to be forced back. At the same time, Maru going into the natural base of Cure. Oh, and more SCVs are falling here, as again, it doesn't take too long at all to kill workers with Cyclones. 5 workers go down, a Reaper as well, and we will... Oh, can we escape? The lock-on! Cyclone goes down at the same time across the map. Maru wreaking havoc in the natural base. Maru getting 7 worker kills as opposed to the 5 that Cure got himself. And as the dust does settle, Maru, he does come out ahead. Does come out with a slight worker lead. Not too bad. Bearing in mind as well that Cure lost a Cyclone. Yeah, you can see the resources lost, the units lost here. A Cyclone went down, and Maru has been making non-stop Cyclones. So Maru has a Cyclone advantage, plus an economic advantage. Hellion comes in, gonna get a couple of SCV kills, being an annoyance, and this does drag Maru back home. You can see on the mini-map there, everything is racing back here. Boys are being pulled. Finally, this is dealt with, and now Maru can turn back around and get across the map. But this did delay the push. It was delayed back at home. Cure, he's getting ready. He has a concave. He has auto turrets. More importantly, like the Ravens with said auto turrets. They had so much DPS and they tank so much as well. They're crucial here in the defense. So again, Maru, he may have the slight Cyclone lead, but we have the concave, and again, we are prepared. How will this go? The boys most likely going to have to be pulled here. So here we go. We only have 1 Raven. Only 1 Raven. We go for the dive, but again, that concave is just a little bit too good, forcing Maru back. Reinforcements on the way. We're going to wait out the auto turrets. Ravens are being locked on. And it looks like Maru, he just barely has too much. He breaks on through. He's up in Cyclone, snowballing out of control. He was only up like 1 or 2 Cyclones, by the way. And you can see what kind of difference that makes as he has broken the natural base. Gets 6 SCV kills and will kill everything else as well. Good juggling out of Maru with that medevac. Shuts down the Raven. Oh, the juggling puppy. And again, 1 or 2 Cyclones can be the biggest of differences here as we snowball out of control. We take control of the natural. GG gets called, and just like that, Maru will take game number 1. GG. Again, very decisive play there out of Maru. Again, it was a kind of a risky moment, a scary moment when Cure lost his Cyclone across the map. Didn't mean that much less to defend. Likewise, didn't have his medevac to help juggle either. And you could see how much, not just your Cyclone advantage, but your micro capacity there with that medevac, with the juggling, with breaking lock-ons can add to a fight as well. On top of that, Maru was also very mature. When Maru pushed in, the auto turrets were thrown down for Cure, and Maru backed off. He just backed off, waited out those auto turrets until they ran out, then dove back in once again, just keeping the momentum up and snowballing out of control. GG. GG, well played. Maru does take the first game. But, as a reminder, because we're in the playoffs, best of 5s. Every match is going to be a best of 5 other than the finals themselves, which I believe is the best of 7. So a lot of games, a lot of matches to be had. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have for onside Maru. And in the top left, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran Cure for Team Liquid. Here we go. And again, you gotta babysit the Cyclones, but you gotta that's what TvT is all about nowadays. It can be really brutal as well. Again, you miscontrol one wrong moment, one wrong time, and because the attack rate of the Cyclone is so high, because they deal so much damage so quickly, it's very unforgiving. It is very unforgiving. You have very little time to react, very little time, and very little room for error when Cyclones do engage in such a manner. So it's just a very intense moment, and of course, Maru did come out on top. From here, we're going to be able to settle into game number 2. So far, mirrored build. So far, it is mirrored build. I can barely breathe. I'm full of noodles and 70% humidity. Oh, give me the noodles, Papi. Give me the noodles. It'll be beautiful. As for now, we are just going to be getting across the map. Again, it's going to be a double gas opener out of Maru. It's going to be an economic opener out of Cure. Interesting. Okay, so the first deviation in this series where Cure is going for a Rax expand, Maru Going for double gas into faster factory, into, I imagine, faster cyclones. Ooh, we even, we even blocked with the building there for a moment. There we go, cyclone, sorry, CC is on the way. My brain, it's on the cyclone, Buffy, oh my god. But the CCs are on the way here for Cure, and we'll see if he can hold on to it. We'll see if he can manage to preserve his economic lead as Maru is going to be building up. We have additional Reapers on the way. Interesting. With these additional Reapers, I'm curious if we're going to be investing into some Hellions alongside them to help keep the pressure up to get across the map, as Maru is aware of the faster CC. Yep, and there it is. Hellions are in production. So Maru's going to be a little bit more active, more aggressive earlier on with Reaper Hellion. We'll see how hard he does commit, because he's only made 2 Reapers and he has stopped Reaper production there, so it's only going to be a handful of units as we get across the map, and we'll see if we can make some magic happen. See if we can gain some value here. Reaper zooming straight towards that main base, avoiding the cliff. Oh, never mind, they do rotate over towards the natural. They get a read on things. Ooh, and again, we did react a little bit too late. 1 Reaper goes down. Did take some extra hits, so a good start for Cure. A very nice start. He does kind of take away that Reaper advantage that Maru had. He's going to be able to get away and get across the map with his own. The cyclone production is commencing. Is upon us. Maru, just like the previous game, is setting up for a drop. He's going to be going for a cyclone drop. Just like game number 1, where he was also able to take an economic lead. Remember, he killed 7 SCVs with his cyclone drop. We'll see if he can do the same. We'll see if he can replicate that success. As for now, we have 1 cyclone, soon to be 2. Second cyclone's on the way. Likewise, Cure opening up similarly as the follow-up. He is going for his own medevac, so drop play is upon us. And, ooh, actually, Maru, he's leaving without that second cyclone, and he gets spotted. Good catch. Good catch out of Cure. He does spot the army. And Maru moving out with his Reaper Hellion Cyclone. Do you have a bit of repair? Very fast 30. Oh my god. Very fast 30cc on the way. A clutch repair as well, keeping that SCV alive just barely. Very nicely done. Maru not losing any workers, meanwhile dropping across the map, but Cure is in position. He's ready for it, he's here, and he will respond. Again, he opted not to move out with his drop, because he did scout that of Maru's. So we'll deflect it, and he can go for his own. So it's going to be a very intense moment here where both players are going to be microing their hearts out. Both players are reactoring out Cyclones as we speak. Both players are invested into Raven production as well. Ooh, as Maru going to be losing his second Reaper. Raven's underway. Remember, the big advantage that Maru has is that he is being more economic. He isn't going to be as aggressive and in his opponent's face as last game. Again, due to that 3rd CC. So Maru's taking the role of the defender. He's going to be stuck defending back at home. As a Cure does go for the drop into the natural base, but Maru, he's in position, does deflect it. Does deflect the drop. So far, so good. What's important as well is that Cure hasn't seen the timing of the CC. He's unawares. He is in the dark. Which again is confirming. These are replays? No. I've seen this one this morning. This is a live cast, for those that are curious. Necessary Evil. It is a live cast. If you did see these 2 players face off this morning, then it may have been a different event or a different broadcast. Just as a heads up. As here we go. Tanks are going to be amassing. Would you see Maru going to be the first to transition into tank production, as we did mention before? As again, he is going to take the faster 3rd base. Ravens are going to be amassing. And for now, things are going to be settling down. You know, we're just calming things down here, taking our 3rd bases. We do have an abundance of Cyclones, that is true, bearing in mind that Cure also has the Disable available as well. He has Interference Matrix on his Ravens. Has potential to dive into that natural. And he is pushing. Oh boy, this is going to be a pretty tense moment here. Again, Maru, he's got around 2 tanks at his natural base. Drop sipping into the main. You're in position though, for the most part. Stim just a couple of seconds away. Good kiting so far. We get a couple of SCVs. Ooh, and Maru does get the hell out of there. But again, Cure focusing on his main push. He is spotted. He is scouted. Maru getting in position. Again, he's got 3 tanks, but we have 3 disables. We have plenty of disables available. But a good tank shot goes off. Cure, instead of avoiding the main fight, is going straight for the main. He's going to lose a Cyclone in the process. He's going to try and delay that 3rd TC, but with the tanks, he will not be able to. At the same time, though, Cure, he gets into the mineral line, and he will get some SCVs. For 5 workers going to be going down. And can he get the medevac? Barely cannot. But this is pretty intense here. As 7 workers, 8 workers go down, 9 workers even. You can see the power of a handful of Cyclones here. Given a couple of seconds, a couple of moments, and they can just annihilate a mineral line. 9 SCVs go down, and just like that, Cure takes a massive worker lead. And sure, Maru, he may have had a faster 3rd TC, but Cure lands his 3rd on location that much faster. It's already up and running. Already fully saturated. Cure taking a massive economic lead here. Maru sending his entire army across the map. And that's a lot of tanks. Again, Maru, he may be behind in economy, but he is up in tanks. 1-1 finishing up for Cure. Finishing up for Maru as well. Rotating around. Can Cure hold on? Can he survive? He's got the disables. Does get 1, does it get 2? Does get all 3 tanks. And 3 tanks are disabled, but we juiced him on forward. Boys are being pulled. They have to be. The disable's about to run out. It does run out. Cyclones from behind, they get annihilated as well. And Maru, he is breaking through. He has to. We have to pull the boys once again, but it's not going to be enough. Cure, he just doesn't have enough here to hold on to his 3rd base. GG gets called, and Maru will take game number 2. GG. Maru forced all in towards the end there. He had to commit. He had to push in then and there. And you can see Cure shake his head. He knew that all he had to do was survive, but that was easier said than done. As Cure barely was unable to hold on. The disables were good, but there was no follow-up there. He was lacking his own tanks. He was lacking his own Cyclones. They were out of position. And unfortunately, because of the anti-armor missile, his Marines, they crumbled. They just crumbled before the bio army of Maru. GG. And with that, Maru, he is 1 game away from advancing on into the next round. It's a best of 5, first to 3. First to 3 wins. The pressure is now on Cure. And again, he didn't play badly this game. Like, he did well for himself. He was able to recover despite having a later 3rd TC. He was able to get a lot of economic damage done. Did well for himself. Unfortunately, he just couldn't hold a candle to the main push, to that main army. If he were to somehow able to slow it down, give him a little bit more time to actually build up additional tanks, then maybe he survives. Maybe he holds. Maybe. But now, though, we're getting ready for game number 3. We have our vetoes set, by the way, and game 3 is going to be on Solaris. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have, for onside, Maru. And in the top right-hand corner, we have for Team Liquid, Cure. Let's go. Again, the pressure is on. And again, when it comes to Maru's form, for those who maybe are unfamiliar, for those who maybe haven't been watching these past couple of weeks, then maybe you'd be unawares. Maru, he is very much so in form. It was surprising. Over the past 2 weeks, we've been casting a lot of Maru here on almost a daily basis. And both myself and Asher came to the same conclusion, despite like casting different days, which was really interesting, is that Maru, he is looking better than he has in a very long time. Like, over the past year of play, Maru, he's been good, but like, I don't know, it feels like there hasn't been that X factor, or it feels like the motivation or the fire that was once lit under him wasn't quite there anymore. But these past couple of weeks, Maru, again, he has been looking so very in form. A kind of Maru that we haven't seen in a couple of years, actually. In a couple of years, unironically. Which has been really cool to see. It's been really cool to see Maru just looking dominant once again. I don't know what any change was. Maybe in the aftermath of WTL. Maybe after, you know, even Clem becoming our ESL Masters Winter Champion. Maybe that's what it took. That's what it took for Maru to really just ramp things up. And now is the time to do so in the lead up to IEM Katowice. Now is the time to be peaking. Now is the time to be looking damn in form. And can we pull this off? Can we take the 3-0? For now, we do have double gas openers from both Cure and Maru. So Cure, he's kind of thrown away his more economic opener by the wayside. He's had enough. He's had enough, Papi. Going to double gas, going to faster factory. And we'll see how our players do diverge from here. Here we go. Gonna make some coffee. Anyone want some? No? Okay. No, come back. Give me some coffee. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night of StarCraft. I will most likely boil some water later in between some matches. I'll do my best. As again, we are just getting into additional Reaper Hellion production. Both players actually. Okay, you have my attention. The last time we saw this, Maru only made 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion, but here we are committed a little bit harder. So additional Reapers on the way. Are we going to go up to 5? The answer is no. Okay, we're going to be cutting Reaper production at 3. So 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions as a marauding force. Both players have mirrored openers. They have the same amount of units. We can see both players also waiting on top of each other's ramps. Let's go. Waiting for the other to arrive. So far, no one takes the bait, and we're now getting into Cyclone production. Let's go. Let us go. As Cyclones are on the way. Medevacs as well. Soon going to be going for jump play. I love that Maru, he actually rotates around the edge of the map here. He does bypass Cure. And as a result, he slips into the middle line. SCVs are going to be going down. But how many? We go 1. We're going to get 2. Reapers, they do slide into the main. Ooh, big Hellion shots going off here. 4 workers go down. And we will be cleaned up. But again, Hellion Reaper doesn't scale well into the late game. We want to get rid of them, and we get 5 workers as a result. Now on the flip side, Cure has an army advantage. Cure, he has a supply lead. He's going for a counterattack. But again, we're massing Cyclones here. We're in position. We have a bunker on the way. Can we survive this? Can we maintain our own workers? Here we go. Maru suddenly going to be the defender. So far, good kiting here with the Cyclones. Oh, pick up as well, avoiding those lock-ons. Oh, Medevac almost does go down. Voids are being pulled. And we do take down the Medevac of a Cure. Very nice control so far. Maru hasn't lost anything yet. Bunker is done. With completion of this bunker, I mean, we can hold. We can and will hold. You see Cure just rallying Cyclones across the map. Maru getting ready to break out. Just waiting for those repairs. Waiting to top up his Cyclones. Just waiting a moment longer here. Instead of breaking out, no, instead of going for a drop. Bold move. Bold move here out of Maru. That bunker taking a lot of damage. Again, Maru, who's going to have that much less to defend back at home. It's going to be that much easier for Cure to break through. The Liberator has arrived. He is committed, but he will lose the Cyclone. Brutal loss there for Cure. Cyclone goes down for free for repairs, basically. Ravencow getting higher. Liberator going to be rotating around, heading into the main. Going to try and drag some of the Cyclones away, but here comes the drop. And Cure, he is woefully underprepared. Again, he was committed to the push, and he will lose mining at the natural. Complete mining at the natural. Ay, there's nothing here. And Maru, that drop is the MVP. He's winning the game with it. He's forced to pull the boys. Raven goes down. The Autotar's going to be buying some time. 7 workers go down. Cure, he's that much more committed. He has to push in. He has to break Maru here and now. There's no turning back. Trades 1 for 1. And he's being forced further and further back here. Maru throwing down a 3rd CC. And Maru will maintain his worker lead. As we see there, Liberator went down as well. Maru, he's ahead in workers. He's ahead in, well, not to be ahead in bases. Cure's base is a little bit faster, actually. But again, he has the economic lead, has the army lead. Again, that drop sent across the map was so risky for Maru, but it more than paid for itself. It set him up for success. Is ahead. And from here, our players just going to be licking their wounds, building up their Cyclone counts, and now it's time for Maru to push out. Oh boy, now it's time for Cure to defend, and he has that much less to work with. He is in quite a bit of trouble here. And we have plenty of energy on these Ravens for auto turrets. Maru scans, getting ready for the dive. He's pushing into a concave though. The auto turrets are thrown down. They tank a lot of shots. Boys are being pulled. Good target firing here as we are down to 3 Cyclones. Maru taking an insane fight. We'll be losing one. We're losing another Cyclone, and we barely hold on. The juggling here a little bit lackluster from Maru, but despite that, he kills 12 workers, and he takes an even greater worker lead. He doesn't kill Cure, but he does cripple him. Does cripple the economy once again. Does make sure that Cure doesn't recover. Meanwhile, behind this, Cure is going into mech. I feel like you have to at this point, right? Like, you have to be as efficient as possible, and Curie throws down 2 more factories, invested into Hurricane Thrusters. The scan reveals it. The scan does get eyes on all the factories. Maru is now aware of the mech. So Curie's trying to commit to Mass Cyclone. Has potential, don't get me wrong, but the reality is that tanks scale better into the mid game. And Maru, upon seeing the Mass Cyclone, he just sets up defensively, just fortifying himself, building up his tank count, and getting his 3rd base up and running. All that Maru has to do is survive, is deflect this army. Easier said than done. See if he can pull it off. Again, we do have a disable. We do have 1 Raven available here for Cure, but there are 2 tanks. Gets a first disable, but there's another tank in the back line. A big volley goes off, and just like that, Curie cannot push in. Yeah, big tank shots. GG gets called, and there's just nothing left. Maru will take the 3-0. GG. GG, well played. Maru looking strong here. And again, Cure is not a bad player. Cure, I would say, is, I mean, comparable to Clem when it comes to his TvT. But Maru was just that much more in form and that much more control as well. Able to... Oh. There we go. Able to just take some better trades. The decision making, the control as well was very impressive what Maru was able to pull off, and able to sneak away when he was up against Cure. Very well done. Very solid performance there. Maru advances on. Cure gets knocked down to the lower bracket. Now, if you're a fan of any of these players, do not fret, because win or lose, they will still be in this tournament. It is double elimination. Just as a heads up, it is double elim, so Cure is still in this, and so will everyone else be. No one is eliminated tonight. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Maru, having a strong performance. And we have plenty of mirror matchups coming up next. We have a grudge match. Oh my god. Serral versus Solar after the break. Again, Solar dubbed the Serral Sniper, the Serral Slayer even, in the previous season of WTL, where Solar was like the one that Onside relied upon to bring Serral down, not just in WTL, but in other events afterwards. Solar was able to be the one to reliably bring down Serral in this ZVZ matchup. But in the group stage, Serral did get his revenge. He did already beat Solar. He was able to avenge himself. Can he do it again? We're here to find out. Again, we'll be back shortly after the break. See you soon.